Great Giza Pyramid, the upper section. Well, let's take a look at it. We got the King's Chamber, which has 5 levels and a top up there. You've got your hallway, which goes the Grand Gallery. You've got your pre-chamber, the antechamber that's in there. You've got your hole in the wall, the Thieves' Tunnel. And you got your pit. And you've got one shaft that comes out here and goes to the surface. You got another shaft at the, actually if I'm going to draw it right, the same elevation right here, comes through and goes up and goes to the surface. Does not breach the surface. In here, although I did not draw it to scale, I guess I could try. Boom, let's pretend I'm redrawing it there. You got your boss mark, and at that boss mark, there's a shaft in the wall that comes down and joins the Thieves' Tunnel. As I currently believe the system to be functioning, this would be a retaining wall. It's one of the walls they had to break through when they came in. I actually think it's a little bit in front of it, and then there's a well that is on top of it, like a drinking trough type well. But either way, there's a pool that is retained within that room. What this does is it allows the hydrogen, which is coming from the lower section, bubbling up through the water, coming into the room, to join with the air from the outside world, coming. Oh, look, my air is not working. Coming in to the system, air being 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen and a bunch of other trace elements. That would be the source of the oxygen that is burnt back together to become the water, and the water would fill the structure to this level all the way through there, raising the pool so the hydrogen would still bubble in, and this would be your contained area where the furnace is burning, the fire in the middle. Pyramid, fire in the middle. As the water level raised, it would choke itself off because of the shape of that. It's actually kind of that shape with an oval at the bottom, which is kind of comes out to a funky square, and it has one of the division markers right there. On the opposite side, this conduit is below that marker. The water level would ride above that, so it would close that section, and as the water level rose up, it would choke itself off to maintain the flow. As the water level went down, more air came in. As the water level went up, it choked itself off. Maintained a flow that wasn't horribly burning, but was still burning. I do believe when we reset this setup and try it, that as it was choking itself off because of the abundance of nitrogen within the room and the continuing feed of hydrogen within the room, I do think we're going to get some sort of an ammonia type compound out of the scenario. But again, that would be where experimentation will come in, and but I don't not see that being a possibility. Either way, the condensation from within this structure will come down, drip down, drop into here, fall into there, go down, and go down what they like to call the grand step. The grand step at one point was a funnel that came down like so that the liquid would come down and fall within the structure and stay within the center channel. Since then, we've covered that over with some horrible patch job so that Grammy, when she climbs up there, because this is where we put the ladder, doesn't slide down and play slippy slide. But at its functioning time, that's what it would be doing. The reason the walls of the gallery are built as so, even the area on the top where it comes down, still the same thing. So any condensation that occurs will come down, drip, and be dripping down into the system. Not splashing into the center, it would be dripping along the sides. This would drip into the center, don't want to argue that fact, but the rest of it would be dripping along the sides. All this would be doing would be taking the static electricity within the environment, and because of the density of water falling down within the system, would pull any static electricity down into the system with it. Static electricity would be condensating, either pooling and running down, or just the water vapor. Either way, it would be brought down into the system, permeating into this environment, being brought down into the lower system. From there we can go over the lower system, but that's pretty much as I see it. Well, originally the hydrogen was brought up into the top, where they find the seeds in the shells, would fill this area and work its way around the back of the structure. Now they do talk about a conduit between the two, but I believe that was a forged conduit, and/or that conduit they broke through at some point and may have actually been there just to allow shorting between the two. But we were nice enough to supposedly have forged part of that, or forged our way through it. I do not believe it was a completely open system, because if it was, the pressures wouldn't build up to bubble through the water, and that doesn't really make sense. If they needed to have the system separated, to have this environment be a lower pressure than the outside environment, and it goes more into like how it's working, but that is how I believe the system to currently be functioning, and I'd be willing to take any criticism, or if somebody thinks that they have photos or something that disprove part of my belief of the configuration, I'd be happy to hear it. But that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.